All right, welcome YouTube to another analysis of a game of Deaths of Athazar. This is a game between Mansoor al-Rasheedi, Mansoor al-Rasheedi, and myself. Uh, he wanted to play the creator of the game to see if he can defeat the player of the game. Uh, Hopefully, my skills were enough to defeat him, but let's see. This is a game that was documented again at Versus Game Room in Khobar, Saudi Arabia. So let's get to it. Each person was dealt 7 cards. Okay. And Mansoor seems to be starting off. I couldn't see his cards, so this is these are his. This is what I was able to see after after one of our recorders videotaped his hand, and I could see now what he was playing with. Myself, I just had a magician, and I had a mix of cards. I didn't have any matches, but looking at Mansoor, he had 2 sets of matches, 2 gins, which is very rare, and also he has 2 sorcerers and he has a magician. So he has an option to get rid of 2 sorcerers and 2 gins, whereas I only have just an option to kill off one of my cards. I can use my archer, my warrior, or my renegade to do some killing. All right. So of course we at the beginning of every phase we start with the pass phase. And I tried to use some of the tips, some basic tips, which is to pretty much swap the lowest card or the weakest card. So I went ahead and swapped my brawler, and Mansoor decides to give me a hunter with archer. Oh, wait a minute. Yes. So yeah, he decided to swap the hunter and the archer, and I swapped the brawler. So he was able to feed me more cards. And because it's so early in the game, I wasn't too worried about it. He played first, and he decided to kill off the back, kill off 2 of his gins, which was a good play. Um, now that I saw that he had 2 gins, he killed off 2 gins. I knew that there weren't any more gins in the card. Remember, one of the strategies of learning how to play Deaths of Athazar is to know the deck. There are only 2 gins in the deck. So I didn't have to worry about being tied up by a gin now that he killed off both of them. And when I actually saw that on the table, I was actually pretty surprised. All right. So I decided to then when he gave me a hunter and an archer, he allowed me to have a match of 2 archers. So I just went ahead and killed the 2 archers off with my magician that I already had. And already Mansoor is already down to 3 cards to my 5. So I have to try to find some way to increase his cards. Right, we were both dealt the brawler, and again, I decide to go ahead and use a basic strategy. Since I already have a hunter, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the hunt. I went ahead and passed the hunter to the brawler, and because what you want to do is when you want to keep at least one white effect card in your hand, just to keep it in your back pocket in case you need it. Because since my soul was getting lower on cards, I decided to keep the sorcerer just in case if I need it, or the prince. So we went ahead and did the swap. He swapped back the brawler. I swapped back the hunter and the brawler. All right. This gave me an opportunity to went ahead and play the prince to increase his numbers. And when I played the prince, he got an extra brawler from the deck. And Mansoor decides to play the sorcerer and gives me back one of the brawlers. So that was no problem. And on the deal, I get a sailor, and he gets a sailor. We went ahead and just swapped. All right, now let's go back to that because uh, he decided to swap a hunter and a sailor, and I decided to swap the renegade. The reason why is because I already had a brawler sailor combination, and I wanted to get rid of that as soon as possible. All right, so he went ahead and passed me a hunter sailor. All right, and because he now remember I still didn't know what Mansoor had. I just knew that he had 4 cards, and I passed a renegade. And I think I remember I was telling you guys that renegade is one of those cards that uh, it's hard to kill using a renegade. Not that many odd number cards as far as numbers are concerned. All right. So what Mansoor decides to do, because he couldn't kill anything, he decides to use his disruption card of the sorcerer, thereby giving me an extra brawler. And I just went ahead and did a basic combination of brawler, kill, sailor. All right. Mansoor was down to 2 cards, and I was still up to 6. And at this point, Mansoor seemed pretty confident that he was going to win. Again, I wasn't too impressed because I still had that sorcerer in my hand, and I knew I could use it at any time. Uh, and I knew that the deal phase was coming now, so he was going to get a total of 3. Now, if on the pass that I saw that he passed me a hunter +1 with an extra, and he'd be left with 1 card, then I would pass him my hunter, and then I would use my sorcerer till then. But uh, but during the deal, he got an assassin. I didn't know that, but I got an extra sailor. So what I was looking at was he had 3 cards, and I was also counting the cards in the graveyard. So I went ahead and decided to go ahead and use my hunter at this point. So I went ahead and passed him a hunter brawler. He just passed me a brawler, and this allowed me to go ahead and use my sorcerer to equalize the number of cards. Um, Actually, he had 5 to my 4 by that play of the sorcerer. But he went ahead and just used his assassin to kill off his brawler. So with my 4 cards to his 3, I was trying to make the game a little bit more equal. And I still had 2 sets of cards that killed each other. And I also knew that I passed him a hunter, so I knew one of his cards was a hunter. And I knew, well, I didn't know, but I kind of suspected that he was going to pass as hunters again. You know, a lot of amateur players like to pass their hunters back and forth, thinking that it will increase your hand. But you know, if you consistently use your hunter, it gets to the point where the other player can predict your play. All right, so I was given an assassin on the deal. He was given an assassin on the deal. All right. Anytime you get an assassin, that's definitely 1 card you want to keep. So I went ahead and I actually traded my uh, assassin off um, because, again, I want to do my kill with the brawlers. I needed to get rid of these 2 sailors. All right. So um, when he gave me that hunter and the renegade, then I was able to kind of figure out what he had. And I'm kind of glad that he gave me that hunter because that allowed me to give it back to him on the next pass. Right. So he went ahead and killed his assassin off with his warrior. And anytime I see a player with 1 card, I always assume that it's either an assassin or a princess, right? Because those 2 are the most powerful kill cards in the deck. So I went ahead and just killed the sailor off, and I kept one of my hunters because I knew that whatever card that so assuming that Mansoor has an assassin or a princess, I decided to keep my hunter. I knew he was going to get an extra card on the deal, so then Mansoor would have 2 to my 5. So then I decided I'm gonna have to go ahead and use this hunter. I'm gonna have to, no matter what he has, an assassin or a princess. If I give him a hunter +1, then he's gonna be getting an extra card, so he won't be able to eliminate his cards. And anytime you pass over a hunter, you always want to pass over a hunter that you want to pass over a hunter with a card that doesn't kill the hunter off. All right, and usually you want to do a odd number, even number combination. All right, so during the deal, and so it gets a sailor, I get a brawler, and as expected, he passed me 1 card. So I went ahead and passed him a hunter plus a brawler. By that, I was able to keep my combination of brawler, sailor, brawler, sailor. And I went ahead and got rid of 1 brawler, 1 sailor, leaving me with 2 cards. And he went ahead and killed off the hunter. All right, now when he killed off that hunter with the assassin, I knew that his last card was a brawler because I passed him the hunter and the brawler. All right. This is where in Death of Athazar you have to kind of look at the table, look at the graveyard, see what people are doing, and you have to be very cognizant of what you pass to the other player. So I knew exactly what he had in his hand, and I don't think he was really paying attention to me. Mansoor is not that much of an advanced player as I am, so I don't think he was really counting my cards. Right? During the deal phase, I was given another brawler. So at this point, I have a kill combination of brawler sailor. So I'm gonna go ahead. I went ahead and passed him the brawler. All right, he passed me another brawler. He decides to play the prince. He used his effect card, giving me an extra wise man from the deck. And I went ahead and just did my basic kill. And again, I still knew what he had in his hand. I knew he had that brawler in his hand when he played that prince. Because I knew one of the again, I knew one of the cards was a brawler, but I didn't know what the other card was until he played it on the table. So when he played the prince, I was still able to keep track of what he had in his hand. I ended up getting a wise man on the deal. He went up and got a magician. All right. So at this point, uh, again, what I see on the screen is not what I saw in the game. So I had 2 wise men and a brawler, and I knew one of the cards that he had was a brawler. I didn't know what the other card was. It could have been an assassin, but the odds of that was kind of low because um, pretty much all the assassins were exhausted in the graveyard. Um, so I really didn't know what he had in his hand. Yeah, he could have had a sorcerer too, and a sorcerer would allow him to win the game. So at this point, I was kind of nervous. Um, so I just went ahead and just kind of did like a Hail Mary. I said, okay, I got 2 wise men. I can always use the wise man to pluck from the deck. So I just went ahead and threw out. So always remember the goal. One of the strategies is to always try to keep at least 1 effect card for yourself to kind of use against your opponent. So I just went ahead and passed him the sailor, and he ends up giving me the magician. And when I saw that, I was like shocked. I couldn't believe it. But keeping 2 wise men was a good strategy for me. I did not plan on passing them. Uh, I did not plan on getting the magician in. Fortunately, I did get it in, and it was my turn on the go, and I finally won the game. So this is a game of pretty much luck, but because I used some basic strategies, even until the end, when I thought I was going to lose, I still won anyway. So I guess you could say I'm still undefeated at my own game. Um, but hey, what can you say? Sometimes luck goes into the hands of the creator, huh? All right. So that was game between myself and Mansoor El Rasheedi. Uh, if you like any more games of Deaths of Athazar, just go ahead and subscribe to our channel. There'll be more games that I'll comment and analyze in the future. Um, so that's it, and join us the next time.